Hey guys, it's Rhiana, and happy Friday. And as you guys know, Fridays are back to school collab days with Teya and Shantel. I'll have their videos down below. This week we're just giving like school advice. I was going to say high school, but I'm in university and Chantel's in university. And we're just going to give you guys advice on different things that we think are important that you need to know for back to school. We're all doing our own topics, but my video is going to be about balancing social life, school, and work. In university, you want to have a good time, you want to make a lot of friends, you want to have a lot of memories because, as they say, university is one of the funnest times of your life, or college, whatever you guys want to call it. Well, in Canada, we have college and university are two different things, but I know in the States, you guys call universities college. Yeah. So, basically, university is a time for fun, experimenting, deciding what you want to do with your future, but with all the fun, university is a lot of work, and you have to know how to balance your work if you have to work during the school year, and you also know how to balance your social life and your schoolwork because you don't want to be having fun all the time and have bad grades, or have amazing grades and have no fun at all, because what's the sense in that? I have 5 tips for you guys on how to balance these 3 aspects of your life, and my first tip is to do your readings and take notes before the class. I had a problem with this my first year of university. I thought it was so boring. Like, who wants to do readings? I definitely advise doing your readings before the class and taking notes because it really cuts down your study time because, later before exams, that you don't have to rush and do all these readings again and take notes then if you already have it done. So I definitely recommend doing readings beforehand and getting the knowledge in your head before you're tested on it, like way before, because your brain remembers things better if you learned it like way before, if that makes sense. Like if you study before the day before the test, chances are that it's not going to be stored in your brain, but things you learned 3 weeks before, chances are that's going to still be in your brain if you keep practicing it over and over, obviously, but it has to be in there first for you to know it. My second tip is leave room and time for fun, because let's be honest, university is about getting good grades and getting into the career you want, but at the same time, university is about having fun. Oh my goodness. Frosh week, or whatever you guys call it. At my school, we call it 101 week, is the first week of school for first years or freshmen, whatever you want to call them. You just have fun. You go partying, you drink, you do whatever you want to do, basically, because you're an adult. Well, you're 17, 18, so some of you won't be able to drink, but because I go to school in Ottawa, and right across the border, like 5 minutes away, is Quebec. In Quebec, the drinking age is 18, so all of our 101 week events were there, so people drank, had a good time, but at the same time, hi kitty, oh my kitty cat's with me, come here, you want to be in the video? Be safe, but the thing with 101 week is that it's meant for you to have fun. It's meant for you to do whatever you want. So there are people there that will make sure you have like a safe time. But even not just counting like 101 week or your frosh week, it's good to have fun throughout the year. Like, I'm going to my 3rd year. I'm in a part of a sorority. I don't think I've ever mentioned that before, but I'm part of a sorority, and every Monday, for example, we have a wing night. So we go out. Wings are cheap at this pub we go to, so we go, we have wings, we have beers, we have a good time, and we just have fun as sisters. And it's like, if you take that 1 day out of the week, or 2 days out of the week, or 3 days, whatever you can balance, just leave time for fun, leave time for friends, leave time for you, just to enjoy yourself. Because at the end of the day, university is an experience, and it's whatever you make it. So definitely, I just think having fun, and you just look back when you're old and gray and you're like, man, I had a really good university experience. So definitely leave time and room for fun. Bless you. My 3rd tip is moderate and understand your limits, and also let those around you understand your limits. So you really have to moderate your time. There's not going to be your mom, unless you live at home. I personally don't live at home during university. I go away. I live 4 hours away for university. But you don't have your mom there waking up saying, hey Rhiana, time to study. I have breakfast for you. I have dinner for you. I have this for you. No. You have to moderate. You have to know, okay, you're the only person cooking for you, unless you have a meal plan, which is awesome. I didn't have one. I lived off res my first year. You have to know, okay, I'm doing this time. I'm doing this time. You just basically have to know how to balance your life accordingly, because if you don't, things can get super crazy and just wild. Also, let your coworkers, let your boss, let your friends, let your family know that you have responsibilities, and let them know how much you can take on. Because just because person ABC, they're doing like 30 hours a week and they're able to do all these I can never say that word, extracurriculars, it doesn't mean that you can do that. Know what I mean? Like, personally, I only worked my first year of university, and on average, I worked like 8 hours a week. The most I worked in a week would be about 20 hours, and that was my max. I didn't enjoy working during a school year, so I personally do not work during a school year anymore. I work full-time during the summers, save money, and then use that towards my school year. So I don't have to work. So I can focus on my social life, and I can focus on my sorority and my family and my schoolwork, especially my schoolwork, because that's super important now. So yeah, I basically do that because I couldn't balance the whole school, work, social life. Maybe I can now because I have better skills, I have better knowledge, I know myself better, I know my limits better. But if you don't know your limits, then things can get overwhelming really quick, and no one wants to be overwhelmed. So I definitely advise you to tell your friends and your coworkers, like, hey, listen, I can't go to that party on Saturday. Don't try and force me because I have an exam on Monday and I really need to study for that because the exam is my priority, not this party. Know what I mean? You get it. You understand. My fourth tip is keep a planner. Oh my goodness. When I say this the most important thing ever, it is. Like, as soon as someone tells me something like, hey, Rhiana, let's go to the gym Tuesday, 9:30. I'm like, okay, Tuesday, 9:30, gym, bam. And basically every Sunday I plan out my week. I say, okay, you're studying from this time to this time, you're doing this to this. Like, I make a plan of everything in my life, so I know exactly when I'm doing what at what time, and so it doesn't leave room for me to goof around or whatever, because I know, okay, at 6 p.m. I have to do this, so before then I have to do A, B, C, D. Know what I mean? So I basically factor in all my note taking, all my cue card making, all that is my studying, and I factor that all in. I make time for that throughout my week, and it really helps you because at the end of the day, you know that, well, at the end of the week, I mean, you know that, wow, I did all of this, and then on the next Sunday, you can reflect, see the things that you weren't so good on, because let's be honest, even though you keep a planner, that doesn't mean you're always going to follow through with it, but as long as you keep a basis and you stick to like a rough, like, plan of what you're supposed to do, you should be okay. And my last tip, and the most important, I said the last one was most important, didn't I? But like, this is super important too, and it's something I've always struggled with, but it's do not procrastinate. I struggle with this so much. I'm such a, oh, I'll do it tomorrow, oh, I'll do it this time, oh, I'll do it this time. But my last year, since I did keep a planner like religiously, I didn't procrastinate as much. I still had my off weeks, my off days, but for the most part, I tried not to procrastinate, and it really saves you the stress. And when you procrastinate, you interfere with other aspects of your life. Say, for example, you're given a project 6 months in advance, but you don't start that project until like 2 weeks before it's due. So in those 2 weeks, you're frustrated, you're stressed out, you still have other priorities. It's not like your other priorities like disappeared. You still have to go to work, you still have social commitments, you still have groups and clubs and sports teams to attend to. None of that paused for you just because you didn't want to start your project the other like 5 months ahead. So basically, like, delegate your time. It's all about delegating your time, and if you know this is due on this date, make sure it's done like a couple days in advance so you have time to look it over. Have time to make sure it's your best work possible. Because in university, it's really like you have maybe a paper, a midterm, and then a final. That's 3 things that determine your mark. So if you bomb one of those things, that's 2 things you have to rely on. So give yourself as much time as possible to be the best you as possible, because let's be honest, teachers marking hundreds, the TAs are they're marking hundreds of papers, hundreds of people. They don't care that your name is Rhiana. They don't care that you volunteer for the soup kitchen on Wednesdays. They don't care that know what I mean? You babysit your little brother without, like, your parents nagging you. They don't care about that stuff. They don't care that you're a good person. They just care about the work you handed in. And if your work doesn't reflect you, and you feel like it doesn't reflect you, it's your responsibility to not procrastinate and definitely put in the time, put in the effort for the marks you want to get. Because at the end of the day, sometimes it is the teacher's or the TA's fault, but at the end of the day, it's really you to blame. So it's so annoying, but honestly, don't procrastinate. And yeah, those are basically my 5 tips on balancing life. Just basically know that we all make mistakes. We all have our bad year. First year wasn't my greatest year. I went from being an amazing student to being an average student, and that was a shock to me. I didn't realize how much of a change university would be from high school. I didn't realize how much of a shock it would be and how my old study habits couldn't hold me through like they used to. But definitely, if you feel stressed out, there are sources on your campus. There are people you can talk to if you definitely need help, like knowing how to manage stuff. Because personally, I didn't know how to manage any of this. I didn't ask anyone for help. I just kind of went through my trial and error, and I figured out what worked for me. And I hope some of these tips work for you guys. Definitely, if any of you are going to university or have any questions at all, leave them down below for me. I hope I can help you. And I hope maybe I can answer them in like a next video or something, or I can answer them just in the comments. But anyway, guys, definitely thank you so much for watching. And if you haven't seen last week's video, it's a giveaway. So definitely go and check that out because there's fun stuff to be won. And yeah, I love you guys so much. And I'll see you all in my next video. Bye, guys.